Hi guys, welcome back to the. I think we named it the Unorthodox channel now, but this is going to be our series of podcasts.
Yes.
This is our third podcast now. We're going to be talking probably more about sports, and obviously the main event that's going to be tonight, the KSI versus Logan Paul boxing match. So we'll be talking a bit about that, and I've got two new guests with me, and you'll see these guys recurring on my channel quite a bit. So we're going to give them a nice sort of little introduction, so you guys get to know them a bit more. So if you guys want to introduce yourself, what you do, and how you met me or something like that. So take it away.
I'm Josh.
He is.
Most of you, well, if you're not new to the channel, which there isn't a lot of you, you'll have
come on, give the guy a break.
You'll have seen me. Well, me and Callum did a little video together of the Man United Stadium tour.
Check it out if you haven't. Very good vlog.
It
is a good vlog.
Oh, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Mate.
More support there.
I'd like to say I'm not a guest, but I mean,
no, yeah. You guys will. These will. The thing is with this, I'll have recurring co-hosts a lot of the time, and Josh will probably be one of my main co-hosts. You'll see quite a bit as well as Tyler, as well as you, Joe, as well, if you're up for it. And the other Tyler as well. So the people you've seen in my first couple of podcasts, they'll be the people you'll be familiar faces with. But then there will be other people that I know. I'll be doing a podcast with Joe and his mate because
Emmanuel Hedges.
Yeah. So if you want to talk about that, like introduce yourself and talk about the next podcast we're going to be doing.
Yeah, man. So me and Manny are in a band called the Rizz. It's going well. Yeah, I've known Callum since primary. Yeah. Primary school.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah, how did we even... I don't even know how we met. That was a bit of a weird one. We just knew sort of through mutual friends.
Yeah, we went primary school, but it was never like... This is only really made proper mates still after secondary, really, isn't it? But then, since then, it's cracking stuff. It's cracking stuff.
So you've been working on your sort of music career.
Yeah, nice.
You got anything that's happened recently that you might want to plug?
Yeah, we just had an EP come out on all streaming platforms on music.
What's that like? What's that like releasing an EP? Like, how does that feel?
It's quite nervous. Like, I went on Spotify the other day and like, you see your own face, your own picture on there, your own band. It's a bit like it's surreal, but it's going well.
Have you had a lot of feedback from it?
Yeah. It's good to hear because. You do get a lot of good response from it, which is always nice. It's like it pushes you on to do something better, and that's the next goal next year.
Any negative feedback?
Yeah, well, you're always gonna get it.
Not negative as such, but do you get people like? Do you get fans that are more? I'd say more like constructive.
It's
like you guys can work on this.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you take that into consideration, or do you guys do your own thing?
100%. Yeah, it wasn't negative. We had massive problems with it with the mixing and mastering, and we've had feedback on how to overcome that for the next EP, which hopefully will be like maybe summer next year. That's what we're gonna push for. So we can use that feedback going into that. Yeah,
what's it like being involved with like agents and stuff like that? Like, how did you go around that? How did you go around people sort of telling you to do your EP?
So
anyone help you set the EP up or promote it at all?
Yeah, well, Manny's, I think it's Manny's dad's mate. He mixed and mastered it for us. Yeah, and we had a lot of problems with that, but he's still done a decent job. To be fair, it's not bad. There's always room for improvement, and that's what we'll take into the next one. But like, where we've been doing our gigs, a lot of people have been filming it and that, put on Instagram. There's a group called Loud in London. That's how we got the gig at Islington and Brixton Jam. And we had a meeting with them. They gave us feedback on how to do the EP. So they've got some really good gigs as well.
Yeah, I mean, me and Josh went to the one this last weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was it was a great experience. Normally, I'll be deadly honest with you, as a mate, that's not my kind of music. What? You guys smashed it. Like the general aura and presence on the stage. You could just it was just good to watch. It was just it was a laugh. It was just a bit of fun.
Yeah.
and you enjoy it as well. Like it's decent music.
Quality.
Like you catch yourself bobbing along to it, and then some of the songs you're like, how do I know the lyrics to these? Like it's just quite catchy. So
all the other bands before, no offense, they were good, but then I feel like when you came on, everyone was there for you, and the whole atmosphere and aura was really good when you all came on.
It's mad because obviously at the moment you're not. I think it's safe to say you're not a huge band at the moment. But do you know what? I was telling Joe this. I came out the underground station and there was people going, "There's tickets for the Rizz, tickets for the Rizz," and I was like, "That's mad!" Like my mate is in a band and there's people selling tickets for it. So
that was pretty surreal.
So obviously
to think,
So you know what I mean? You're getting there. You're getting there.
We're getting there.
Do you know roughly how many views you've had on your sort of?
I spoke to Manny yesterday on
EP and stuff like that.
Spotify. It's around 900, but I'm not too sure on Apple or
900
Amazon.
downloads.
Yeah, well, streams.
That's not bad.
It's just on Spotify, but I don't know what about Apple or Amazon.
You thought about going into YouTube and just releasing stuff on there because YouTube's obviously a platform where most things get. I think we're gonna with our, especially our channel. I think is gonna be more YouTube based now. I don't think we're gonna put it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We might do sometimes, but it's just. I think people just prefer it to be on YouTube.
It's nice to watch as well, isn't it?
100%. Yeah. If we obviously get bigger, I think it's something you do when you're big.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's something especially when you can't see someone. You don't want to listen to two random plebs talking. Do you know what I mean? You want to know the people you're listening to. So I think we're going to start it off on YouTube like that. So do you think you and your band are gonna sort of set things up, put some like promo videos out there, and just get yourself?
Yeah, we've got Jacob, who's behind the cameras and all that. We've got a few quality shots at Brixton. And he's put our own music over it. And for promo videos and next gigs on our account on Instagram, follow.
I'll put it in the description.
Cheers. And and he's got a promo video and it's got like a lot of views on it. Yeah. So that's like the main thing that we used. I think it was for Islington. I can't remember what gig it was.
Yeah.
Got loads of views, but that's the people we're kind of using. And they're mates as well. We do favours to them, we do favours for us. Quality stuff.
That's great. I mean, our next podcast, like I said, is going to be with you and Manny, and we're gonna talk more in depth about sort of the band and how it came across, and maybe how like you discovered you wanted to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
So obviously there's a lot of news and sort of sporting things we can talk about.
Yeah, 100%.
Are we saving the KSI and Logan stuff for the end of the podcast, or should we crack into it now? Because I think there's a lot to talk about in that.
Yeah, I think we should start off with KSI and Logan.
We should crack on with it.
Obviously.
I think we should go around and
let me introduce it first. Come on, bloody hell. Obviously, last year, it started 3 years ago with Joe Weller posting a video with him fighting Theo Baker. KSI, as a joke, posted on the end of it. A fight winner, and then obviously the KSI Joe Weller fight. KSI won and turned into this massive thing between him and Logan Paul, and the last fight was a draw, so they're settling it finally in the United States in the Staples Center, which is mad.
Yeah,
like that is a world-renowned stadium.
100%.
And it looks like they're gonna sell it out as well. That is incredible. And like it's on DAZN, it's on Sky Sports. Like,
massive.
This thing is massive. Big. It's the first time YouTube and sort of the TV world sort of come together, because normally, especially with YouTubers and that, the TV world are very quick to slam down the YouTuber.
Media,
even with like the TGF stuff, when they got their stuff, when they got his head trapped in the microwave, they were slamming them.
That was
absolutely slamming
bad.
them. But like they were saying, it was a waste of emergency services. Yes, it was a waste of emergency services, but at the same time, he was going to die.
He still needed help.
He was going to die. But yeah, I suppose this is the first big sort of thing where YouTube and everything is coming together, and I think it's a great event. I think
it's massive for the boxing as well.
Yeah.
Like like Joe Saunders was saying, it's like massive. Like there's going to be a lot of people watching it.
Yeah.
So I always like a lot of there's a massive dilemma about it, saying like these ain't even had a proper fight.
Yeah.
And they're topping the bill and all that, but like I think it's attracting a lot of fans.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
He's got loads of followers. Get them on
I suppose if people are watching this and they're intrigued with the KSI and Logan thing, they've seen like us. We've seen countless interviews. We've seen like all the podcasts with True Geordie. We've seen everything about it, and some of the stuff is going to be repeated. But it's just like these obviously die-hard boxing fans that hate this idea of the YouTubers coming into it. But what they got to think is like they're still putting it all on the line, probably more than a usual boxer would. Because
usual boxers lose and it's not a big thing. Whereas whoever loses
it is a big thing.
But it's not as big as it's going to be for KSI and Logan.
KSI and Logan have built profiles from like
the camera in the room.
Do you know what I mean? It's years and years of building these massive profiles, and they're putting that on the line for a fight when they don't need to do that. This fight doesn't need to happen.
They don't need the money.
Stacked with money. This doesn't need to happen. I see why. I think this is a great redemption story for Logan. I think the stuff he's been through, I think it's been great for him. I do genuinely think KSI has saved his career.
Yes.
And a lot of people might disagree with that, but I think generally he has. Like Logan Paul was going through the worst, and he didn't show any signs of coming out of it until this boxing thing happened, and Logan flipped.
At the end of the first fight, Logan went up to JJ and thanked him.
Yeah. I think that was the best moment out of all the shit talking, out of all everything when they came together at the end but literally how long did that last before they started?
Yeah, he's back on it again.
It lasted like 2 minutes and then KSI and Logan were at it again. Oh, let's do the rematch. I'm gonna batter you and stuff like that. Who do you think won the first fight?
I do think it was a draw. I honestly do think it was a draw.
If you think about it, I think you're right. It was a draw.
I do think it's a draw as well. I think it was. I think if anyone did edge it, I think maybe KSI.
If it went further, KSI was going to win.
Yeah,
100%.
Definitely. I think obviously Logan didn't have an insane amount to training time.
Yeah.
And I don't think KSI really. I don't think KSI appreciated Logan. I think he was just KSI thought he was going to walk in there and smash it.
I think he said
and
that
he didn't.
as well.
Yeah.
Recently.
I think he generally thought, it's a piece of piss. I beat Joe Weller. I can beat Logan. I think that's when it comes to KSI. I think he is quite. I don't know. He is quite a cocky, arrogant character, but that's why he's big. Do you know what I mean? That's why people watch him, and that's why he's an entertainer. But I think the first couple of rounds really was like, oh shit, okay, he's not as shit as I thought he was. I think, but Logan's technique, boxing wise, was good, but there was faults with it as well.
Yeah.
Like he wouldn't follow up with his jab; he'd just keep like jabbing JJ and do nothing about it. And I think the taunting as well from Logan really screwed him over.
I think we'll see a lot of that as well.
I don't think we will.
I don't think we will.
Do you not?
I think they're taking it seriously. I think if it comes to a point where either one of them are getting battered, that's when it'll be like, mate, you are shit. But like, I think they're generally going to take it. I think there'll be more skill from JJ. I think people forget JJ thrives in situations where he's the underdog. Like with the Joe Weller and the KSI fight, he was the underdog. Everyone thought Joe Weller was going to win that fight. I thought Joe Weller was going to win, and he loves that. Like he loves being that person that's like, oh, he's going to lose because I don't know. Some people it just gives them that extra drive, and he's obviously gets that. And being in an arena where I don't know. I think it's probably going to be about 50-50 fans wise.
Yeah.
KSI's got a massive following.
Yeah, I think it could be interesting to see how that sort of tells the tale of these two.
I do think Logan might edge it fan wise.
See, I don't know. You see the press conferences that in America and there are people chanting louder when
it's only
KSI
because
comes on.
The American fans aren't as
loud,
aren't as like big. Like the English fans are mad. Like
the
press conference where like Logan's dad got hit, paint
yeah.
cans were thrown about.
Eddie Hearn was on an interview, I think it was a couple of days ago, and he was saying like the differences from like he was getting Vaseline tubs lobbed at his head, like he was like, yeah, it was funny. It was funny. Yeah, I think it's because KSI's fans are louder. I think there might be.
I don't necessarily think it's KSI fans. I think it's the British and the American. I think because...
See, I disagree with that.
I disagree with that, yeah.
I think when it comes to... Sorry. I think when it comes to English, you're right. Like, you'll very, very rarely find an English person go, I prefer Logan Paul over KSI. But when you go to America, because of what Logan Paul's done, there is still people like, fuck that guy.
No.
Like,
I mean,
KSI.
I mean, in the sense of how full on they are. Like, just in general, English fans are so brutal and harsh. That's the sense I mean in. Like, whereas American fans like go Logan Paul, and then like you've got like the English fans like yeah go.
I mean, you can tell that from just like the presenters and stuff.
Yeah.
Like this woman American presenter doing the American side. She's not that great, and then you have True Johnny. What the fuck is up? And like chucks his glasses and stuff like that. I think it just shows you a difference between the Americans and English.
Yeah.
English don't give
two fucks.
Yeah, they don't give a hoot. Whereas Americans are. Logan Paul didn't tread carefully, did he? I think this boxing thing has been great for everything. I think it's inspired so many young kids as well.
100%.
I remember at secondary school when the first fight was like the Joe Weller and stuff like that. Everyone was like, "Oh, I'm going to start doing boxing now." Let's have a spar and stuff like that. Yeah. So because it's just a bit. It's fun. Yeah. Like it is such a good sport to watch because they're putting everything on the line. I mean, personally, I prefer MMA. I've always watched UFC more. But yeah, again, it always comes from that big character that gets you intrigued with it. Yeah. Conor McGregor got me into UFC. Like, I don't think I'd be as a passionate fan of UFC if it wasn't for him. And I think a lot of people wouldn't have liked boxing if it wasn't for KSI and Logan.
I think it will bring a lot of young kids and people into the sport, and they will stay in the sport and be more passionate.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's very good for the sport.
McGregor, what do you think about him for this day and age now?
He's just.
I think his UFC's career is over. I think if he steps in the ring with Khabib or Masvidal, like they're the only two fight, or
I think he's just.
It's Dustin Poirier.
The fame and money's gone to his head. Like 100%. It really has. When he was passionate about MMA,
and he was doing it for a living, like to live and like earn money. That's when he was at his best.
Yeah, when it wasn't even.
I think the Mayweather fight, that's when it got to his head. Yeah. Because Eddie Alvarez picked him apart.
Yeah.
Alvarez was the champion. And
I think he just needed to be like smarter with who he picked.
Like the Nate Diaz fights.
The two fights were fantastic.
They were amazing.
They were so good because you saw a cocky, arrogant Conor go into a fight with Nate Diaz, expecting just to walk over him. And then Nate Diaz really shook him. And then that switches Conor to go, right, I can't embarrass myself again. Yeah. And you saw a different Conor. Like, it was a mad, like that. That was.
Fleet and wondered up.
Oh, I was going to say, Chelton, you'd be going nuts. The table would be full. But yeah, as I was saying, it was like a completely different sort of Conor McGregor. I think now, I don't know what he's done.
I can't see him coming back. I think if he fights Khabib again, I think Khabib will do him again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I think that
shows. But the thing is, I think that's bad for the sport. Who wants to watch Khabib? I'm not going to be funny. He headlined a main event not so long ago, a couple months ago, and like I remember, I think us lot were like, come to mine and watch it, and we were all like, am I going to pay 20 quid to watch
someone
two guys lay?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he's amazing at what he does. Yeah.
But it's not entertaining.
He doesn't have that entertainment factor Conor McGregor does. Yeah. And I think that's what really projects football, sport, boxing, MMA, anything forward. Entertainers push it forward. Like even in football, like Cristiano Ronaldo. He's a cocky guy. You know, that's what's got him forward. Obviously, his talent as well. But like, do you know what I mean? And like Vardy now, he's quite famous for being for being a cocky, arrogant guy. And sometimes you just gotta have characters.
Millwall winning.
Oh no. We'll get to football eventually. But yeah, I on the Conor McGregor situation, I think he's just been an idiot. I think he really had to be careful, especially after nearly getting arrested and put in jail. Yes. And then he goes and punches an old guy in a club. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
It's the way the old guy gets
he carries on with his beer. He gets absolutely smacked. He's like, what?
Carries on talking to his mate. He's like,
that's a bit like the Shannon Briggs thing. At the weigh-in.
Still undecided who he's punched yet, innit?
Shannon Briggs smacked someone, and the guy was like, "Come on in." But it's like, what?
The guy he punched was like dodge. He was fast. Yeah, like, I don't know who it was, but mad.
Sean Hutchinson's a cunt.
What's that? What did you say?
Gets a score for Millwall.
6
minute. We lasted 6 fucking minutes.
You take that personally, did you?
Yeah, I did.
So going back to the KSI Logan 2 predictions for tonight.
There's so many ways that it could go.
If we can stay awake.
No, that won't happen. There's no way we'll fall asleep with us.
Yeah. I think we'll go to the end, and I think Logan will.
That's a very unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
Not many people think he's going to go to the end.
I don't think they're not fighters.
Exactly.
That's what makes
no head guards, 10 out club. Someone's going to get smacked, and I think as soon as someone gets smacked, that's it. You're done.
The thing is,
someone's going to pounce on that, and they're out.
Realistically, Logan and KSI are always going, "Oh yeah, my technique's so good. I'm a real boxer." When they get in that ring. No. The technique goes out the window.
That's
for
what
them
Joe Weller was saying, though, wasn't he?
Because they haven't done it for years. They haven't done people do 10, 15 amateur fights before they go professional. Yeah. Logan Paul's done 1, KSI's done 2.
The thing is,
now it's professional.
The only reason they'll look good is because they're at the same skill level. So no one's gonna look really bad.
We don't know if they are.
That's the thing.
I think they are, because I think KSI trained for the 2 fights before. No, the 1 fight.
I
before
think KSI
Logan
will be more technically trained than Logan, but I think JJ. I don't know, because I think you saw no technical ability in the first fight for JJ. Yeah.
Because between the first 2 fights,
away from it.
Between the first 2 fights, so between the first fight and this fight's gonna happen now, I think the first half, I think Logan absolutely went ham and training, because JJ went on tour and he said he came back and still trained, but did he train as much as Logan did?
It's all about training in the right way. All about training in the right way. He could be. I don't think Shannon Briggs is right for him, if I'm deadly honest.
I'm not a massive fan of Shannon Briggs.
I think what KSI said was completely right. He's just a hype man. If you watch the videos,
he's not just a hype man though. He was a 2-time world champion.
But when it comes to KSI's getting trained by the Mayweathers,
but only recently.
He's worked with him before. Last fight he did, but it just wasn't as an intense of as a training camp. This was 2 months solidly at the Mayweather gym, and I think that's he's been sparring he's been sparring world heavyweight champions. I don't know, but he's been sparring champions. I think. It's whoever uses the technique and the skills they've learned will win this fight. Yeah.
I say we don't like Shannon Briggs, but he knows what he's doing. He's fought so many fights and he's won so many fights. He does know what he's doing.
Fights or something like that.
It's mad.
Something like that.
He does know what he's doing.
He does.
And I think Shannon Briggs could be right for Logan.
Yeah, but
because of how Shannon Briggs wins.
There's a difference of yes, he knows his stuff because he is a boxer, but does he know how to put that on someone else that isn't a boxer?
I mean, for example, we see all these football managers,
exactly.
old ex-players come into management.
Exactly.
Some of it works, Lampard's doing well, but then
it's all well and good knowing your own sport, but if you're trying to teach someone else, you got to know how to teach the right way. And I think Shannon is just making Logan believe stuff that isn't true sometimes.
I think Logan's got his head screwed on.
Logan has, but Shannon hasn't. And then
I
think when it gets to a point where Logan's he's constantly being told by by a previous champion how good he is. Like, there's got to be some point when you're going, yeah, I am this good. Like, Shannon's calling him the next Muhammad Ali. Sorry? Like, I think even when Conor McGregor was at his prime, that was only when he got compared to Muhammad Ali. Like, when he was at his very, very, very prime. Anthony Joshua is a great, phenomenal boxer, but he hasn't been compared to Muhammad Ali. Logan Paul's done one amateur fight with head guards on, and Shannon Briggs thinks he's Muhammad Ali, and the next world champion. It's just, no matter how skillful you are, he's done it for a year. There's no way. No way.
I think that's like on the True Geordie podcast with Logan. I think that's all he's going to do though. He's just going to dip in and out of different sports to try and be that character.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he will go that far.
Do you think Logan Paul will go to MMA after?
I think he will, but not for many fights.
I think he will, but I don't know if he'll get into the UFC. Maybe sign.
I think he will. Dana White will let him in.
I think Dana White will because it's money, isn't it?
Yeah, true, but he's going to get his fucking head kicked in.
Who would he fight?
Someone like CM Punk or someone.
That's it. Those are the rumours. Like someone like CM Punk. I think CM Punk would lose.
I mean, he's just.
Why
did he even go into the UFC?
CM Punk is not a great fighter. But I think people really underestimate UFC. Like I was literally 2 seconds ago in the garage. Well, not 2 seconds ago, but I were in the garage and we were just looking at the difference between a boxing glove and an MMA glove. Like. It's ridiculous. Like,
it's crazy.
It's literally like pretty much bare knuckle fighting, and not only that, you're allowed to kick and knee each other in the face. Like it's ridiculous.
As well,
Clinch. Do you know what I mean? You can elbow each other to the face. Like it's the most dangerous.
It's so violent.
But I think the most entertaining.
100%. Unless you're Khabib.
Yeah. You see the best knockouts and stuff like that, but. I think.
Who do you think is the most entertaining fighter in the UFC right now? I think George Masvidal. I'm not being funny, right? Like what we were just talking about McGregor and Diaz. Diaz and McGregor, even when McGregor won, he took it to the end. Diaz done him in the first third round. The doctor stopped it, but it carried on. Masvidal would have absolutely destroyed him.
At the moment. I've always like. Who is it?
I really like Darren Till.
Darren Till's sick.
That might be because he's English. I do really like him.
If we're going entertainment-wise, is it Derek Lewis? My balls was hard. He's just a funny guy. Like he has that sort of flair about him. He's just funny, and he'll get people to watch the fight because he's funny. Like, he after the Conor McGregor. The Conor McGregor thing with Khabib, he was obviously on the undercard, and that's when the memes of my balls was hurt came. And then he got a main card the next time he fought against Daniel Cormier.
He did get battered.
Yeah, he did get battered. He's not the greatest fighter, but he's so funny to watch. Like, he's just a funny guy.
But I mean, if you're saying entertainment, you got to be entertaining outside the octagon and inside.
I think Conor McGregor was that to a T when he was at his prime. I think it's such a shame he's lost that because he could have been an absolute legend in the sport. I think he's damaged his
reputation.
Yeah, he's damaged it because like
what he's doing outside the octagon as well.
It's like going up and smashing a bus. Like, mate, you nearly got arrested. Learn your lesson. There's allegations of him with his wife. Like, Jesus, mate, is it going to stop? And then he punches an old guy, and it just never seems to stop.
I don't get the wife thing because I've watched the documentary of Conor McGregor again. Yeah, he's been with her from the beginning.
Yeah, but it's not that. It's not them two are fine. It's him going off and meeting different birds. I think. And
you can't say it's him. You've seen the photos, and it's a different bird.
Yeah, it's just.
And it's. Definitely.
I suppose that's how it is, though. You think how many girls are surrounding Conor at the moment all the time because of his money and everything. I think he needed to carry on with UFC and really focus on it, but he obviously went to Proper 12, his whiskey brand, and I think he just focused on money rather than what he really loved, and that's when he got out of touch with everything. I think when people focus on money rather than what they actually enjoy doing, that's when they get out of touch with the world, and that's when they start making really big mistakes.
Yeah.
Like Logan Paul, exactly like Logan Paul. He got so trained in doing it all for the money, doing it for the views and stuff. He forgot why he fell in love with making videos.
It was kind of a blessing in disguise for Logan Paul.
Oh, definitely. Like that's why I have so much respect for. I hated Logan Paul. And I hate Jake Paul with a passion still, but I have a lot of respect now for Logan Paul, how he's turned that round. Like, there's making a really, really, really bad mistake, and there's overcoming it and trying to make yourself a better person over it. Like this thing with Conor McGregor, he had such a good opportunity to sort that out and become a better person, and to make people respect him more.
Yes,
and
definitely.
He keeps doing. Like, he keeps getting worse and worse and worse.
He's just come out saying he's going to fight in January the 18th, hasn't he? That's
he wants to fight Frank Edgar. What's that going to do?
Yeah, I think people will watch it because it's Conor McGregor. But can you imagine he loses that fight?
That's it.
That'll be it.
He's done.
That is his reputation, his legacy, the legend that is Conor McGregor in the UFC wiped away. Everyone forgot about it.
We can still talk about it now and say it in his peak, but if he fights that last fight and he loses, and the peak's going to start to fade.
Yeah, but even if he wins the fight, where does he go from there?
Well, what you want him to do is come back and fight Khabib, do him, and then do someone like George Masvidal and then retire. Because then you've done it all, then, haven't you? Because I don't really want to see an Nate Diaz McGregor trilogy, if I'm honest. I don't.
No, it's been done.
I'd like to see the trilogy just so it's fair on them two, because I think it's at least so it's fair on Nate. Yeah, because Nate won that fight fair and square, and then gave Conor the chance to have the rematch. And then
because
Conor's took all the credit for it.
Nate Diaz could have gone, "No, I don't want a rematch."
Like, Conor did take all the credit for those two fights. Everyone's going, "Well, Conor's the better fighter," but Nate won that first one. It's 1-1. Like, they need to settle that somehow. I think it would just be fair on Nate if there was the trilogy. I'd still watch the trilogy.
I would still watch it.
Those fights were one of the best fights I've seen, because they were just going at it, like blood, sweat, everything.
I think Conor would lose.
I don't think he would, because Nate Diaz got all that scar tissue. Masvidal hit him once, and his eyes flapping.
Do you know what I mean?
That was a mad cut.
It just depends. It really depends with Conor. It depends if his mind's in it. If his mind's not in it, then he's going to lose. Like the Khabib fight.
It's just, after the Khabib fight, what has he done since then? Like, has he kept everything going? Like, I don't know.
I think Conor McGregor really underestimated Khabib. I think that screwed him up. I think he did. I think he appreciated Khabib's ground game. I think he did work on the ground game, because the first round and the second round, he didn't look too bad on the ground. Like, he was defending the takedowns quite well. He was defending himself quite well on the floor. But when it came up to the stand-up, he was so cocky that he knew he'd win on the stand-up. I think he was so focused on, right, if he takes me down, I've got to remember everything I've done. And he just forgot about stand-up. Yeah. And he got hit with an absolute rocket of a punch. And that was the beginning of the end for him. Because he got hit with that, and that was... You get hit like that... When you're well known for stand-up fighting, and you're getting hit like that from a guy who's well known for grappling, you're like, oh no, I'm in trouble here. And and that's it. All the confidence just oozed out of Conor at that point, and that was the beginning of the end for him.
But that shows like Khabib's not an entertaining fighter, because even then, when McGregor got up and he got in his knee him, Khabib took him to the floor and laid on him for the rest of the round. It was like.
It's just I think Conor McGregor has lost the passion for the sport. Yeah. And when you lose the passion of something, you don't put your all into it, and you can see that. You can see when you don't have passion for something. Like it even comes with everything in life. If you don't have a passion for something and you're doing it just for the sake of doing it, you can tell. Like you can really tell. Like with the KSI and Logan fight. You can tell they're passionate to win this fight. You can tell they're passionate because they love boxing, and they will show that. But it's like certain... I don't know. It's like certain fights where... I mean, the Anderson Gibb and Jay fight on the first fight between KSI and Logan, Jay wasn't really passionate about boxing.
No.
He wasn't really passionate about boxing. No. He still did really well. Jay did mad, but that's only because he's a hard geezer.
Yeah.
Like that kid can just he can take punches. He can go through a lot. But he didn't have the passion for it. His passion is making videos.
Yeah.
And you saw that. Gibbs' passion is fighting.
Yeah.
That's why he won that fight. Do you know what I mean?
And that's why he wants to fight again so badly.
Yeah. Did any of you see the interview between Joe Weller and Jake Paul?
Yeah, I see that.
That's so funny.
Joe was just mugging him off. I only saw like a 30-second clip on Twitter.
Joe needed that. Joe needed that because Jake mugged him badly.
Yeah.
Like they mugged him bad. He invited Joe to his own house and made a diss track on Joe and told Joe, "Oh, we're just filming a music video. Do you want to get involved with it?" And Joe's like, "Yeah, sure." Do you know what I mean?
And it's just
being so innocent. Little does he know this whole music video is like dissing him.
Yeah, but Joe's in the video, and Joe must have heard the words that Jake is singing.
I don't think he did.
No, they don't.
He's pointing at himself, so he knows that he's saying. He must know that the words were, "I'm gonna knock Joe Weller out." Because if he stood there pointing at himself in the video, he must know what the words were.
I don't think Joe Weller would do that to himself.
No.
He did it in the video.
Yeah, but even Jake came out and was like, "When like we're gonna." And Joe came out and said, "I didn't know that was happening."
Yeah.
Like why would you put yourself in that? Like that is you're making an absolute mockery of yourself. Well, I don't think Joe Weller's that dumb to do that. Like, especially after losing to KSI, he'd already been mugged off enough. Do you think he's going to go to Jake Paul and be like, "I'm rubbish, I'm going to lose"? It's like, mate.
Look, because they fought, didn't they? They fought in his back garden, and he lost.
How do you think the loser of KSI was Logan Paul's going to handle it?
That depends. I think Logan will take the fan. I think if Logan loses, he'll go back to his podcast, he'll go back to how he is, and he'll be fine. Whereas if KSI loses, I think it could be bad.
I
don't know. I honestly do not know.
Because Logan can't go through the worst that he's been through, because he's been through the worst, and nothing can get worse than that. So when he loses against JJ, it's just going to be there. It's not going to be nowhere near what happened in Japan.
Yeah.
I think it's different with media. I think Logan would be stronger. I think KSI will find it hard to deal with the media side of things.
Yeah.
But in terms of career-wise, I think no matter what, KSI is still gonna like. His fans are so like. Even if he loses, his fans will be supportive at the end of the day, and his career will still do well. But if Logan loses this fight, his YouTube career is done. His podcast career isn't done because of like how well known that is now. But I don't think he would do YouTube anymore. And I think no matter what, these two, whoever loses, mentally and like personally to them, it will take a huge toll. Because they've gone to each other and they're like, "I will beat you." Like there is no way you're beating me. And when you have that confidence in yourself and you look and it doesn't go your way, when you thought you had that confidence, sucks. Like that will suck for them. And I think if Logan loses, he will go up to KSI and go, "You know what? You were the better man. Well done."
I don't think
but if KSI loses,
he's going to be a sore loser.
"Oh, fuck off, man." Like, I think I'd find it. It would surprise me if KSI lost and went up to Logan and was like, "Good fight, well done, mate."
Yeah.
Because of the bad blood between them, I think that it just wouldn't happen. Just wouldn't happen. I don't think.
No.
So, but what was your prediction? Sixth round.
Logan's
decision.
going to win in the 6th round decision. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Logan, 2nd, 3rd round. Or if it goes a distance, KSI.
I think if Logan doesn't knock out KSI in the first 2 rounds, KSI's won that fight. I think because the muscle mass of Logan, it simply will just be too much to carry around.
He's going to struggle to throw punches.
Yeah, I have a feeling JJ is going to come out fast because he knows his stamina is good. He knows he can give that a little bit.
Because he's like you say, being trained by the Mayweathers. What Mayweather did against McGregor, he stood there, let McGregor take all his energy out, which he knows Logan Paul will do, and then capitalised on that. Yeah, but he's training.
I don't think if Logan comes out strong, I don't think KSI can take 2-3 rounds of what Logan's going to give him.
Look, this relates to what I've been saying. It's when it comes to it, it's whoever at that time is composed and remembers what their trainer has said. Yeah. They both have fantastic camps. Yeah. They both have fantastic people telling them really, really good tips. It's whoever at that situation when you're getting punched in the face, it's at that point when you can go, right, I have to do this, I have to do that. And I think you didn't see that in the first fight. No. They both got hit and they were both like, fuck! Yeah. And just started swinging. But if whoever's more composed can take what they've learned and push that into skill and make it more a skillful fight and work around how the other person's boxing them, they will be the winner.
But what's your prediction? I know you're saying that, but what's your prediction?
Like I said, I think if Logan doesn't finish it in the first or second round, which I don't think he will, I think KSI will win.
So you're saying KSI in the long run?
I think so because of seeing how quickly KSI tired out. Not KSI, Logan tired out last fight. He tired out real quick.
But is he going to learn from his mistakes, and is he going to be able to know that I can't absolutely gush ham?
Like I said, it just depends on in the moment.
Yeah.
Because the bell might go and they suddenly might go, oh shit, just get it done quickly.
Or they could just do what Joe Wells and not throw anything.
Yeah.
Maybe too scared to make a wrong move.
They could like the whole fight just like be like, right, let's. If they come in it, I think it depends. What you can tell, I think you can tell how the fight's going to be just by them walking when the bell goes. How they walk together. If they walk in together and start throwing punches straight away, it's going to be it's going to end real fast.
And that means that Logan will win.
If you look at real boxing fights, the bell goes, they come together, they sort of feel each other out. Yeah. They feel like how are they moving in, how are they coming towards them. Like when they throw a punch, like they're just dodging it. There's no real sort of massive bombs thrown in the first sort of rounds. Like you see these first round knockouts, but that's only because like it's either a really big guy that's just got one massive hit and that's what he's known for.
But I think Logan could do that. I think Logan
but I think JJ can take a punch. Logan got hurt more in that first fight than JJ did, 100%. Because Logan was literally like he was flopping on KSI.
But because of Shannon Briggs and because this is the first time
you can't train knockout power.
Because none of them have not felt a proper punch in the ring without a head guard. I think Logan could come out and give him a few punches in KSI could be gone, or they could throw the towel in.
I think Logan's underestimating KSI's power as well, though. I think KSI knows Logan's going to hit hard. KSI obviously is going to go. He doesn't hit hard. Obviously, you would say that just to get into your opponent's head. I think he does know that. Okay, I'm going to have a head guard. Some of these hits could spark me.
Yeah.
He's like KSI has been like sparring with some big guys, like some big guys.
But there was one press conference where they both got asked. In the True Geordie press conference, Geordie asks Vidal if KSI is going to feel what he's going to feel in the ring, and Vidal said no. He will not feel the proper punch with no head guard on, with 10-ounce gloves until he gets in the ring, which I reckon Logan won, which is why I reckon it'll be a short fight. Because then they're going to get hit, and I reckon if you don't remember in that time what your training is, you're going to freeze and you're going to absolutely pounce on. You're going to get knocked out.
I think it could be. I think it could be an early fight. I'd like to see KSI end it early. I think that would be such a twist to the tail that a lot of respect for that fight would be like. At the end of the day, I think you just want to see a good fight.
Yeah.
You just want to see these two actually dog it out. Like, I don't want to see Logan Paul get in there, one punch, KSI's on the floor. That'd be so crap. Like, it was all this hype, all this chatting, all this media stuff, like saying how good we are. Hull City are 1-0 down. Unlucky, mate. Don't worry.
Right.
That's what you get for supporting Hull.
Let's talk about football.
We will do. Let's finish up on this KSI first thing. What was I saying? It was something about if it just ends early, if it ends instantly, all this talking and all this hype that has kind of these boxing purists that originally were like, oh god, this is such a bad idea. I think some of them have gone, okay, we'll see how it is. And if they produce a wanky fight, then they're going to go back to let that never happen again. I think these guys, they need to put on a show. They need to put on a show. 100%. Like, it was almost like Mayweather did with the Conor McGregor fight. Mayweather knew he was going to win that fight. He kind of let Conor McGregor go on for a bit longer. Yeah. Just to put on a show. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, Mayweather could have ended that earlier, I think. Conor McGregor was good. Surprisingly good. But I think Mayweather just sort of longed it out a little bit. Just because, look, what's the point in ending it early when sort of the longer you leave it, the more that money rack's going. Do you know what I mean? The more you're thinking, it's 1p, 2p, 3p, 4p. Well, in their case, it's probably $1 grand, $2 grand, $3 grand. But yeah, so if you want to go about football then?
Yeah.
Sure, I want to fucking shite.
So, teams. I've already done a podcast with Tyler about football. I'm a United fan.
Cheltenham.
Hull City.
That's the Championship, boys. Looks like we're joining you next season.
Best league in the world, mate.
I think it is. You can enter Championship. You can go to any game. You can win. You can lose. You can draw.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like
bottom could beat top. Whereas Premier League, you ain't going to see flipping many bottom teams beat Liverpool.
Apart from Sheffield United, who are doing very well.
They are popping off.
They're sixth.
I really hope they do well.
But like, that's what I mean. 10 games in, we was third. Like 2 points off second. At the moment, we're losing to Millwall. In a fucking derby, and we're 12th.
So unpredictable. It's unpredictable.
Yeah, like
United go from beating Chelsea to losing, I think, against Bournemouth 1-0. It's like you never, especially a United fan at the moment, you never know where you stand with a club. Like 1 minute you're thinking we're turning it around, and then next you're like we're losing to Bournemouth. It's like,
could you imagine?
God, when is this going to get worse?
That's not relegation.
Oh God,
what a shame.
I know.
I mean, I'm very upset because ex-Hull City football players just scored against us. It's even worse. Jake Livermore played a.
But what do you think of Ollie though?
It's a tough one. I like Ollie personally. I think he's such a nice guy. He really cares about the club. I just don't think he knows how to. I think it comes to the point where.
I think it was just summer business.
I think it's just down to the training. They're not playing right on the pitch. Like it's not the team sheet because we proved that we have talent. Rashford is. No matter what anyone says, that kid is talented.
Yeah,
like,
I mean about the team sheet. I don't know about the team sheet.
Martial, talented. Daniel James, he is talented. Like there's no doubt that we have talented players like Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw's a talented guy.
If you want to be winning the league, I don't think
I get that.
and Luke Shaw are quite.
Let's take it steady on Harry Maguire, shall we?
No, I get that sense, but like they are still talented players.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I think that just when it gets to the games, you can't see any real hunger to win. Like when you look back at the old Man United teams, you see how much they loved and lived and breathed that club, and like how much it meant to them winning and losing. I just don't see that now. It's if we lose it, it's just like we'll get them next time. Well, no, you're fucking not. Like prove it. If you're good, if you're gonna win. Like or just even if you're losing, put it all on the line to make sure you at least get a result out of this game.
It was once Ollie got signed as a professional manager, it started going down. Like not straight away.
Yeah,
when he was temporary, he was like okay.
Yeah, but I think that's not his fault. Because I think that's just we were going through such a crappy time with Mourinho. When he was gone, it was like, all right, fresh start, boys. Let's smash this. And I think it was almost like let's prove Mourinho wrong. Yeah. And then they were like, right, let's boss it out. They bossed it out for a couple of games, and then it was the realization like, oh, we actually do have to learn from Ollie. Like he's going to be here a while now, so let's try and listen to him. And then when they listen to him, he's obviously not. He's not cutting it for. I think we. I don't know. I think our transfer window could have been better. I think we needed a really good transfer window, and I don't think we got the transfer window we deserved. But is that Ollie's fault? I think he done everything he could.
I don't think it's necessarily the manager's fault for that.
No, I think it's the club.
Yeah.
It's the club.
I mean, like, if you see
people are talking
million,
about Rio Ferdinand coming in to sort out like the transfers and stuff. It was like, mate, Rio Ferdinand said some dodgy things on TV, like player wise. Like he just kept mentioning Championship players. No offense, but like,
hang on a minute.
You're not going to win a league with a Championship player.
No.
Like there's Championship players who you want to take in to grow into a team. Like Daniel James, we took him because he's a young talent and he will grow. No Championship player you can bring into a Man City
This is what I hate about being a Championship team.
Or a Liverpool team.
It's because as a Championship team, we're just feeder clubs. We get good players. They do well. We send them off, and it's so shit.
Exactly. But it's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think we'll go down. I think we'll stay up. Honestly, there was talk of us going up in the playoffs at the start of the season. We've been hit with so many injuries. I think I'll take 21st as long as we stay up. I don't care.
I think once you finish the season and you've been in, I reckon you can slowly start to place yourself higher and higher in the table.
Yeah.
Because with it being your first season, it's always going to be a shaky one.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you get in and you get, because I do think Cheltenham are a quality team.
When we've got everyone fit.
Cheltenham are a good team.
Because especially coming from one league to another and nearly going up straight away.
Yeah.
But obviously it's the consistency that you need to get used to with the Championship.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously Bowyer's just a new manager, isn't he? He ain't got a lot of experience, but you know, he's bringing some quality players like Conor Gallagher on loan and that from Chelsea who are like unbelievable. But I don't know what will happen. If Lyle Taylor stays, then hopefully we'll stay up. I think we will stay up. But I just don't think it's a matter.
I can't see you going down.
No, I don't think we'll go down. It's just
I mean, you got to look at the Championship. You got like.
Where are you standing wise? Because I know you were quite high up.
Yeah, 12th. You're 12th. You're 12th.
We were third.
Third.
I mean, you look at the teams. You got bloody Barnsley, Luton, Wigan. Like,
Huddersfield.
You're better than them.
You always see in FA Cups and cups like that. Why is it always all these teams, or even lower than that? Why do they beat the big clubs?
Like even
because
Millwall.
The passion.
Did
you see the reaction that Colchester players had when they found out it was playing Man United? In their changing room or the canteen or wherever they was, they were so happy. And I think
it's just
why.
It's a day out for them.
No, but
it's a day out in the biggest stadium.
I have no clue what player it was, but there was one player where he played for a shit team, and the next transfer window he got signed for Man United because of how he did in the cup. And that is what the break could be for the cup for the players. Yeah, it could be that you beat that team, you score some goals.
I think the big teams underestimate the little ones as well. They do because they'll go, we'll whack out our third team on them. Definitely. And then they get caught, and then it'll be the last minute of the game. They're like, whack the big players on to try to save us, and by then it's too late. Yeah. The roundup of this is just sport is so unpredictable. And you have so many opinions on different things, and that's why everyone loves it. That's why people tune into boxing. That's why people tune into MMA, football, everything. It's so unpredictable, and it's so well loved around the world. Like I went to an American football game the other week. That was the most amazing experience. Like, it was so sick. Like it's just you never see it here in England, and they do 4 games a year. And it was a sold-out stadium. They sold out the Spurs Stadium twice, and they sold out the Wembley Stadium twice. It was mad. It was such a good atmosphere, and it was just great. It was just such a good experience. I will be doing it next year as well. Yeah. It was brilliant.
If you had to support a team in the Premier League that won the top 6, and I mean, like the classical top 6, not.
Come on.
No, because
what do you mean classical top 6?
I know. But
we're getting to the point where not even a classical
Man City,
top 6
Man United,
anymore.
Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham.
Are you going to ask this to me as well?
Yeah. Who would you support?
I'm going to have a look. It would be Tottenham because we are Man Sportsman, obviously, because it's not top 6.
I mean, and I'm saying top 6. I don't mean like the top 6 now. I mean like the classical.
Yeah.
I'd probably say like.
I'm saying
it
Leicester.
would be Wolves because that's
I'm
where
saying Leicester.
Family are up from there,
right,
so
okay.
it'd be Wolves.
Yeah, mine would either be Wolves or West Ham.
Yeah,
I think.
Fair enough.
Those
I said Leicester.
Mine. But I'm a United boy, and I always will.
Or Sheffield United, because I love the little teams in the Premier League.
And they always do the big shockers as well. Like
it is so nice to see. I mean, currently Tottenham and Sheffield is still 0-0, and I could see Sheffield winning that.
Yeah.
Especially with Tottenham's form as well.
Yeah, it's a shaky one.
The
Everton and Tottenham game, the Son and Gomez reaction.
That was
Gomez.
Yeah, that was horrible. Did you see that? The broken leg.
Yeah.
His ankle goes from being there to being there, and his leg stays normal. It is.
Son's reaction is the
scored.
Son's reaction is the most horrible, but almost like the most nicest thing you'll ever see.
Yeah. Did you see when he scored in the Champions League? When he scored in the Champions League, he went to the camera, apologised, and prayed for Gomez.
Oh, really? That's so nice. Like, you very rarely get that for footballers now. Like, he was genuinely, he was so horrified at what he'd just done.
Even on Twitter, I didn't see many Everton fans absolutely setting off Son because of injured one of his players, which could potentially end his career.
Yeah.
And because of his reaction, because Coleman went into the changing room of Tottenham and went in and it's going to be all right. Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
Which is the best thing when someone's injured in a team and then two teams come together. It's just the best thing to see.
Yeah. Sport wins, doesn't it, boys? Sport is a real winner, cause so we're gonna. I think we've talked about everything.
Yeah.
We've covered points. I think we're off to go and watch this Logan Paul and KSI fight.
It's gonna be tight.
It'll be good.
Hopefully it's a good fight.
Watch Charlton get battered.
What's that?
Watch Charlton get battered.
I mean, I'd take a draw for Hull.
I don't even want to take a draw against Millwall, but
thank you guys for watching this podcast. I do appreciate it. Obviously, the sound quality, the video quality isn't the best, but that's we're looking to improve that. It's just getting sort of people that enjoy us, our podcast, and then hopefully we'll move it on. Fingers crossed. I don't want to get people's hopes up, but Jimmy Bullard might be coming on a podcast soon. So if you're interested with that, please do subscribe and whack on the notifications, because it won't only be podcasts like Josh said at the beginning. We released a vlog and that's had some really good feedback on it. So I think we might even I'm not going to say it's going to be something like the Sidemen, but it could be we could do some funny pro clubs videos or stuff like that. So we don't know.
Just to entertain.
Yeah, it's you know what we want to do. I'm inviting my best mates on it, and they're going to be part of it just as much as I am. And it's just because we enjoy doing these videos. It's literally nothing else. We don't care if we get 1 million or 100 views or whatever it is. It's just we enjoy doing it. So we appreciate everyone. I mean,
1 million views would be nice, but
realistically, come on, mate. But yeah, we just appreciate anyone watches. So please, I'll try and whack these guys' stuff in the description, and obviously the Rizz. Go give them support. Just listen to it.
It's a good one.
Do you know what? Download the EP. Even if you don't listen to it, download it. Does something for them.
Correct.
But do you know what I mean? And we'll see you in the next podcast. Cheers, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.